Today on Man Up, we're going to talk about Christmas, and our guest will be Ethan Eckenroad.
Man Up is a series that challenges men to become strong, unique, discipled followers of Jesus. Troy Ferguson, Sean Tice, Victor Thomas, and today's guest host is Ethan Eckenroad. Welcome to Man Up.
Welcome back to Man Up, and let me just begin by saying Merry Christmas. This week is Christmas, and I'm going to share a few unknowns about Christmas. First of all, did you know Jesus wasn't born on December 25th? Or even in December, for that matter, according to history. The Bible doesn't mention a stable per se, but historians have said that Jesus was born in maybe a cave, or I've seen even a residence that had no room. There were not 3 wise men, but 3 gifts, possibly many wise men that came to visit Jesus. Did you know the first Christmas tree decoration was often food items like apples, nuts, and dates, as well as candles? Yes, imagine candles on a tree. Did you know that the X in Xmas comes from the Greek letter chi, which is the first letter of the Greek word for Christ? So it's not the concept of removing Christ from Christmas, but it was actually a representation of Christ. Also, the popular Christmas song, Jingle Bells, was originally written for Thanksgiving. You know, there are so many facts through song often, and maybe even tradition, that have been passed down that simply aren't accurate. It doesn't change the truth that Jesus came to earth, emptied himself of his divinity, as we've seen in the Bible where it says, Jesus, who began in being in the very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be used for his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness, and being found in appearance as a man. He humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, even death on the cross. I'm just going to stop there. You know, this is not a typical Christmas scripture, but I want to tell you that this shows us where the beginning of Christ's purpose here, and ultimately his purpose, came about with the cross and the crucifixion. So today we celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Jesus, but we have to understand that Christmas, what we celebrate now, is not complete unless we include the cross of Christ. Jesus died for you and me. He came to earth for you and me. And we need to look at that as the whole picture. So as we continue today, we're going to talk more about Christmas. We're going to talk about a few other things with my friend Ethan Eckenroad. Stick around.
Impact Productions, a multi-layer technology company providing on-site, online, and in-studio video services. Contact Impact Productions to capture your story.
Welcome back to Man Up. And on this Christmas episode, we have a very special guest with us, local celebrity that was on The Voice, Ethan Eckenroad. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Before we get into that part of your story, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, born and raised someone in the area, out Roaring Spring, small town. I always say there's probably more cows than people. But I love that town, obviously. We still live out there. My family's out there. So me and my wife, we've been married since 2018. And then our daughter is going to turn 2 here in January, so it's happened really quick. Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Fantastic. Tell us, how long have you been involved in music?
Yeah, honestly, all my life. I started when I was really young. I remember playing drums for church and stuff like that, and my mom plays piano, so I remember just singing with her and just hearing her. Pretty much every Saturday morning, that's what we'd wake up to, is her playing piano. So. Yeah, it's just something that's always kind of been intertwined in my life. So I don't know, I kind of felt destined to it.
What got you started, playing and singing, taking it past just being a hobby to taking it to?
Yeah, so probably when I was, I think, 16, my brother-in-law, Tom Trexler, he actually invited me to, I had played electric guitar a little bit, and he invited me to join the worship team at a church that they were planting. So I kind of got a little bit more involved there, and as time went on, I started singing a little bit more and leading worship. So that's really what did it for me. I fell in love with leading worship and just kind of bringing people into that space, and still something I enjoy doing today and is very much a part of my story. But yeah, it's 17. I was 18 and I was on staff at a church, and it's what I've been doing since.
So let's get into what most people are going to be watching this show for.
Yeah.
Something that would be on any young musician's Christmas list is to go on a show such as The Voice.
Sure.
Talk a little bit about the journey, how you even got involved in that, and a little bit about the process.
To be honest, The Voice was never something that I wanted to do. I remember like when it first started airing and stuff like that, everybody was watching it, and it was never something that I was like, I want to do that someday. Even loving music, it just wasn't something on my mind. And a couple years, our church closed, and it was close to giving up on music. I was leading worship here and there, but there's a lot of hurt there and stuff, so I was pretty close to being done. And I had some friends and family who were like, this is what you love to do. Like, this isn't something you should just throw aside and give up on. So kept at it. I started writing some of my stuff, and somebody reached out to me and was like, hey, I really think you should do it. I was this close to not doing it. I thought he messaged me on Instagram, and I thought it was a scam. So I almost just pushed it off the table and was like, this probably isn't real. And I had a friend who was like, just ask questions, like dig in, what's it going to hurt? And obviously it worked out really well. And from there, I just one step at a time. And like I said, it wasn't something I wanted to do, and there was still a part of me, even once I got further in the process of being on the show, is like, is this really something I want? That's a huge shift in what I'd been doing, and I don't know. I just felt God's call in my life to be like, it doesn't look like what you thought you wanted. I thought I was going to be a worship leader for the rest of my life, and it's not what you thought you wanted, but this is still good, and you can still show who I am, show who God is through this experience. So yeah.
So on the Voice, do you get to select the music, the genres, or is it something?
A little bit. I can't talk about that a ton, to be honest, but they kind of give us some songs and some pointers, and we tell them things that we like and genres that we like, and especially like artists and stuff like that. And honestly, they do a good job of picking the songs and that kind of fit you really well.
Yeah. Various training they give you.
As
well.
Yeah, we talk. We have vocal coaches and stuff that we talk with, and obviously the coaches on the show, we sit down with them. But honestly, like looking back, as much experience and like, I guess like hands-on like mentorship that they gave me.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that came out of it was my confidence. I had really struggled, especially after like the church closed and stuff. I was at a point that was like, am I good? And then I remember like the first day on this, like got in LA, off the plane, got to the hotel, walking through the halls of the hotel, because we're all staying in the same place. And I remember walking through the halls, and you can hear other people singing, and you're like, I'm not good enough to be here, because they're like vocal runs and all this stuff, and like that's just not me. And a lot of very, very talented people there, and a lot of talented people who didn't even get a chance to audition. So I'm grateful for the opportunity that I got, obviously. But I still remember that first day walking down the halls. I'm like, God, I don't know what you're doing, because this doesn't make sense to me. So, but yeah, walking away from that, just knowing God put me there for a purpose. I might not.
Amen.
I might not feel like I'm qualified to be there, but I think we've all heard it time and time again. God doesn't call the qualified; He qualifies the called. So, just trusting God, and it is the most like walking on water experience I've ever had. Because just every step of the way, I was like, I don't know what's next, but God, you do. And
So you mentioned about confidence. Going at the very, very beginning, when the chairs are not facing you, they're turned around. How nervous were you at that very?
It's all adrenaline. I joke with my wife, I don't remember most of it. So like I was grateful we got to watch it all back together. And like see timing and experience and kind of relive it a little bit. but I joke with my wife, like, I don't even know if I sang the words right at the end of all of this. So, yeah, a lot of adrenaline. Once they turned, it was very much.
And
like,
they all four turned.
all four turned, yeah.
So that's not,
wow.
that doesn't always happen.
yeah.
And talk about confidence booster. I would think that would be
Yeah.
something that would definitely.
Yeah, it was definitely a confidence, skyrocket.
Yeah.
I once, because Adam Levine and Kelsey Ballerini, they turned right away. And like after that, I was just such shell shock.
Wow.
What would you say to, a child or teenager or maybe a young adult? It's like, hey, I love music. What should I do?
Sure.
How do I pursue this?
I would say, first of all, the Voice or any show like that, that's not always the answer. I'm grateful for the experience, and I think it can be a good experience for a lot of people, but that's not the end-all be-all. I think there's a lot of other ways that God has given us to use experiences and gifts, whether that's leading worship on a Sunday morning. I had a friend tell me once that they love music, but they don't know how to use it, but they ended up going into like music therapy and stuff like that. So there's so many ways, and it's tough. People look at me and they're like, well, you were on The Voice, like of course you can say that. And it's like, I can, and you can take this as a grain of salt. You don't need to take it as anything really, but I know that if God put it on your heart and you still have a heartbeat, you have breath in your lungs, that you're not done yet. And however you can use that, just keep taking the step forward and trust God in it, and He's going to figure it out. So.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I go back, I'm not a singer, but I go back to a time I'm a little kid, and I remember my mother used to always sing, God makes little green apples. Do you recall a favorite song that you had when you were a child that...
Oh, man. I can't say I really do. There are a lot of melodies, various melodies that stick in my head from, like, I remember Christmas time, my grandmother, she whistled all the time.
Okay.
So, but I very much remember her whistling, like, Silver Bells and just all these classic Christmas songs like that. And I can still hear those melodies my mom played on Saturday mornings on the piano. So I don't know if there's a specific song necessarily, but I feel like there's always a melody that, like, even like to this day when I hear it, like it takes me back to that. So
Okay. Yeah. Sean was going to sing for us. But...
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
There's so many people that say, hey, I can't wait to move out of Blair County.
Sure.
And I love this town. I moved back 2 years ago. What keeps you here?
Family, for sure. LA is a big city, and it was wonderful and it was beautiful, but it is definitely not where my heart is. Our family's here. This is where we put our roots down. We have not even just like blood family, but our chosen family and our friends that we have found in community. They're all here, and I can't imagine life without them. So find that community.
Ethan, I've known you as a musician, a singer, worship leader for many, many years in this community. Well, what are some opportunities that might have arisen since being part of the show for you in
Sure.
the music realm?
A lot of it is just being able to. I prefer songwriting. Like, I love singing and I love performing, but I prefer songwriting and using that part of my gift. So just being able to have a platform of not feeling like I'm writing songs and just singing them to a wall, but now I can write stuff and people listen to it and hopefully get something from it. So yeah, that's a big part of it, and hoping to just continue that.
So this is Christmas week, and do you have anything that people can be looked forward to at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, I've definitely got some stuff coming. Hopefully January, February. Working on a studio right now, cool. So trying to get that all put together, and hopefully some more stuff out soon.
Awesome,
so, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna take a break. Can you stick around?
Yeah,
Talk
absolutely.
about Christmas. So stick around with us. We're gonna be right back and talk a little more about Christmas.
This segment is brought to you by Harry's Construction, whose motto is, if you can dream it, we can create it. They are the kitchen and bath design experts, so call Harry's Construction for all your remodeling needs.
Welcome back to Man Up. We're here with our panel and our good friend Ethan Eckenroad. So Guys, let's talk a little bit about Christmas. This is the week of Christmas. Share something that is memorable of an experience you had and something about Christmas.
I mean, music goes along with Christmas for me. I lived with my grandma, and she had cassette tapes of Perry Como and Andy Williams, and those two Christmas albums that they had. I mean, they had more probably, but just when those songs play, it just brings back so many memories of being a little kid. We used to play this game called Kismet together during Christmas. Oh, we played it all year long, but we'd play those cassette tapes, and you could see the snow outside, and just playing that little game with her, just with my grandma, just brings back a ton of memories for me. But I still love listening to those songs.
Yeah. The cartoons.
Oh yeah.
Has to be the time sitting and waiting for Frosty or Rudolph, as a little kid. And I thought those were, some of the best days until I became a parent. And then it's the joy of giving that gift to your child.
Oh yeah.
And that little kid dance that they do when they're not expecting that, and that has to be some of the greatest times, man. Yeah.
I'll share, and this shows my age a little bit. I remember my parents having a hi-fi. Remember not Wi-Fi, a hi-fi. Do you know what a hi-fi is?
No.
Do you know what a hi-fi is?
I don't know what it is.
A hi-fi was an old stereo record player
album.
Yeah, we had one of
big,
those.
Big,
I didn't know what it was
honking, called hi. Well, we call them hi-fis. I don't know, but anyway. And I remember the records coming out and listening to the crackling. And there's something about Christmas records that, man, it seared into my memory of that during the Christmas season.
And I think your dad would call it a phonograph.
I don't go that far back. My dad might, but I don't.
Yeah,
I was actually a Sheets family Christmas kid when I was a little kid, and one of the memories I had was them taking us. And this is before Sheets got as big as they are now. They had their corporate office there at 58th Street, and we went into this room and they registered us, and then they took us on city buses to Hill's department store. Went in there and I got a bike, a football with a tee, and an NBA Jam Session VHS tape. And I just remember that being one of my favorite Christmas things, because it's like Sheets is buying us Christmas gifts. So that was a pretty cool experience as a kid.
How about you, Ethan? Anything that you're a lot younger than us, anything you?
Yeah, so I buy records because they're cool and vintage now, not because I owned them before.
Vintage.
But no, I have to say this, and it's not for brownie points. The first Christmas that my wife and I spent together will always be one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And then this past year we got to spend our first one with our daughter, which was really cool. But actually, and it's a little controversial when I talk about it, my favorite Christmas was 2020. Was during COVID. And a lot of people were like, well, we didn't get to spend it with family. And I agree with that. I miss my family, but I got to spend home all day. It's just me and my wife. We just sat and we drank hot chocolate. We watched old Christmas movies. That was, because it was so simple.
Yeah.
There was no we got to get to this family and then we got to go see this family. And I don't say that to dog on my family or anything like that, because I love spending time with them. But something so simple about just waking up. We know we don't have anywhere to go today except just sit and do whatever we want to do. It will always be one of my favorites.
You know what? I tell you what, I think the COVID time, obviously there was with lockdowns and all the controversy, but we had in our house, we had some of the best in-house times during COVID. We played hide and seek with our family. Mom, Dad, and our two boys played hide and seek in our house. We've never done it before. We've never done it since. But during that time, we would play games just before. The family time was amazing.
This weekend, do it again.
And that's the beauty of it, really. I mean, the board games that you would play back then. Nowadays, everyone's on their phone and it's really not, conversating with family members.
Right.
But we used to always get around the table and play different board games, and those are the things that you remember. Everybody coming home, and you're like, okay, the same anticipation you have for a relative coming from out of town, you're looking out that window. That's the same anticipation we should have for Jesus. Looking out the window, waiting for his return, coming back. Because we remember those days. Oh, my sister's coming from Maryland. This person's coming from here. And we're, looking. Mom is like, do you see them yet? Not yet. As soon as that car comes down the hill, you see them coming.
So, thinking of that, what was Christmas Day like? Did you guys go and do a lunch or dinner with a big family group? Was it a small family? What was your experience like Christmas Day?
I lived with my grandparents from second grade on, so I would have Christmas with them, and then other family would come in. My mom would come in, my brother and sister, and I'd have Christmas with them, and then we would have more family come in. We'd have lunch together and do things like that. So it was just all basically at my grandparents' house, and then my aunt and uncle next door. So it was just a great day. I mean,
Yeah.
the full day of like activities with everybody, and I loved it.
Looking forward to the different meals
Yeah.
that you're going to eat different
Yes,
times. And then
exactly.
fall asleep, wake up, eat again.
Yeah, leftovers, man. Leftovers from holidays are the best, you know.
Yeah, something about that turkey puts you out, and then you
Oh, yeah.
wake up and you eat again, and okay, it's time to watch the football game or the basketball game.
Or Home Alone comes on. Oh, Home Alone. Home Alone 1 and 2 are my favorites.
There was somewhere along the lines of my growing up, not when I was a kid, but somewhere I watched White Christmas for the first time, probably in my 20s. And now that's become something that I actually enjoy watching every year. But my wife, White Christmas and It's a Wonderful Life are two like classic staples.
Yeah.
And my wife, she just is not something she grew up with. So I'm like, well, if we're going to do it, then I gotta do it on my own or whatever. But it's, but yeah. So Christmas Day for us has always been in the early morning. Of course, you do the Christmas gift thing, but we always have had lots and lots of family. Typically, lunch was the big Christmas meal, and I remember going to homes and families that pack as many people as you can in that living room or whatever
yeah.
it is, the dining room. And
What about Christmas Eve? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have traditions on Christmas Eve. What do you guys do for that?
Oh yeah, exchanging gifts. We have a huge family, so there was always you would select one person that you had to buy that gift for because
Yeah.
there's so many family members. But then the gathering, getting together the night before,
Yeah.
that you present those different gifts, and we always had one location that we're going to go to. Now it's like you rent a hall someplace because you have so many family members in the next generation. But yeah, those are the great times that you just don't forget.
Yeah, I love how it's 2 days. You know, Christmas Eve. you just get
how about you, Ethan? What?
Yeah, well, Christmas Eve, my wife and I started doing this 2 or 3 years ago. We usually do a Christmas Eve service, which is always lovely. We love doing that. But we come home, we usually watch Rudolph. We watch
There you go.
Charlie Brown Christmas, which is my favorite. But then before we leave for the Christmas Eve service, I put on chili in the crock pot. So when we get home, our house smells like chili. We eat chili, PB&J, and then just sit and watch those movies. And
Chili, PP.
so simple.
Interesting.
There you go.
It's so good. You actually dip the PB&J in the chili.
Oh my goodness.
What?
No, that's
Try it.
different.
Don't knock it. Please just try it.
Wow.
I know you're like thinking cringy. No, it's delicious.
When we have you on again, you need to bring that.
Chili and PPJ. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Christmas Day, we usually just family time in the morning, and then we go see my family. Usually turns into a game by the end of the evening or something. You're just sitting and talking. So we just simple. That's what.
I love you mentioned the service on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I love the candlelight service. That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. So Ethan, I want to thank you for hanging out with us for a little while, talk about your journey as well as Christmas. And guys, we're going to hang out for a little longer as we're going to be hearing Ethan on a song that's going to be playing here for just so hang with us. We'll be right back.
Made by Vogel is a father and son business that produces high-quality handmade wooden products such as cutting boards, bowls, bottle stoppers, and more. Products for sale can be found on their Etsy site or in downtown Altoona at the Clay Cup. You can't go wrong buying from Made by Vogel.
Next time on Man Up, we're going to have Chris Cook.
And just kind of really grew it from there. And then I'd say 5 to 6 years ago, we just exploded. Got into the downtown market, and our first purchase downtown was the Triangle building. And then we just kind of kept acquiring buildings in that area, growing them, restoring them. So in the meantime of all of that, we bought several businesses as well. We bought La Joe's Italian Market, and we bought Always a Party.
All that and more next time on Man Up.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents under the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams. Christmas Eve